Okay, June and Creeper are in here practicing some obedience. This is a place command. I call it go to bed. We're using their dog beds. When you're teaching this at home, you can use anything you would like. You can use a towel, you can use a cot, you can use a bed, you can use a crate. I've even had some people that used a lazy boy in their living room. They wanted their dog to go and jump up in a rocking chair whenever they said go to bed. So that was his spot. You can look out the window and see it is pouring rain outside. So we are practicing inside today because it's too yucky to practice outside. Both these guys are in a place command. And when you're teaching this at home, what I tell people is I want you to think of this don't you get up. I want you to think of this as like crate training without the walls of the crate. So I don't care what they do on the bed. A lot of people want them to lay down. I don't care if they lay down. I don't care if they stand up. I don't care if they sit, as long as they're not barking or digging or, making a big scene and being obnoxious. They stay there until they're released. They have currently been on this bed 25, 30 minutes. I have a Scentsy party on Saturday that I'm doing, and I'm going to a retirement center and bringing free cookies. So we're baking cookies right now. Lots of good smells in here, lots of noises, lots of me coming and going, and they stay on the bed regardless of what I do in here. I can walk out of the room, and they stay on their beds until they're released. And what that should look like is, okay, good dogs, good dogs. Yep, I got treats. Yep, you guys did really good. All right, now let's both go back to our beds. Come on, Creeper, go to bed. Good boy. June, come on, go to bed. June, come on. Creeper, go to bed. They're both relatively new at this. June has been here for about 3 weeks. Come on, go to bed. Good girl. Go to bed is a command that there's a lot of dynamic to it. So you're doing basically a long down stay, or just a long stay in general. And not only are you doing this long stay, but you're doing a target training stay. So you're basically sending the dogs away somewhere to stay. Right now, June is kind of 50-50 on whether she'll go to her bed when I point at it from across the room. She's only been learning this for about the last week and a half or so. So half the time I still have to go get her and walk her over to the bed. Creeper is a little bit better about it. He has been learning it for a few more weeks than she has. It's relatively new for him too. Most dogs, to get this down 100%, I've seen it take, up to a month, give or take. Just depends on the dog and how much obedience training they've had before. These guys both have e-collars on. They've both been trained to stay in the past. They both know exactly what their release command is. They both have the same release command as you saw earlier. So that being said, whenever I use the release command, they know that that's time to get up. So right now, June is about 90% trained on staying on the bed. That means basically 9 out of 10 times that I send her to the bed, she stays there until I tell her to get up. But she's only about 50% trained on actually going to the bed. So we'll be focusing on that a lot this next week to try and get her to the point where when she goes home, she's at least at 90% on going to her bed. And I'm able to tell her from way back here to go to her bed, as opposed to having to go and get her and walk her over and say, June, go to bed. So she's standing up right now. I don't care if she stands up. She can stand there all day if she'd like, but she doesn't get up until she's told that it's time to get up. That is the important thing. So I've done this command with dogs for the longest that I've had a dog stay on a bed unattended was 4.5 hours. I took the dog to a training seminar with me, and I left her in a nice cool area with a dog dish full of water. Yep, the food is out now. Good smells. Just got resting. What's Mom doing? And they both stay. Good job, guys. Creeper, for the record, stayed on here earlier while I walked June through and let her out to go to the bathroom before the rain started. And then when I brought her back in, he also stayed. Did you find a fly? He also stayed while I put her onto her bed. So there you have it. They're doing great.